Sumit Singh and Jenny Slatten are begging to be on 90-Day Fiancé, the other way, why they don't deserve to return. Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh want to return to 90-Day Fiancé, the other way, but the network should avoid casting them again. The California woman and the Indian man seemed like an impossible match initially. They had too many barriers, such as cultural and family problems, that weren't fixable. Sumit and Jenny also had a huge age gap that made them incompatible. Yet, they were able to find a solution and overcome all the hurdles. The couple tied the knot in 90-Day Fiancé, the Other Way Season 3 finale a few years ago. Why Jenny wants to return to the show with Sumit. Jenny wants to share the rest of the story with fans. Jenny and Sumit's story was over after 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 7, however, Jenny recently surprised social media users by showing interest in rejoining the franchise and sharing the next chapter of her life with viewers. In May 2024, she commented on the official 90-Day Fiancé casting Instagram page at 90-Day Fiancecast and asked them to cast her again. Jenny wrote, "Jenny and Sumit would love to be back on the other way," adding that there's more to her story than what happened last time. She posted a praying hand emoji, showing eagerness to rejoin the spin-off. Unfortunately, Jenny's comment didn't get the best reaction from many viewers. While a few fans replied to her and asked them to return, most despised the idea. An Instagram user commented, "Please don't come back," begging Jenny not to return to the spin-off. Another user responded, "They are so boring," asserting that the couple is no longer interesting. Jenny does want to join the show because she feels there's more to her and Sumit's story. However, fans are fed up with them and don't want to see them return for the 5th time. Sumit and Jenny's storyline has become stale. Their story doesn't have many plot twists. Jenny and Sumit's story has become boring, which is a big reason fans are against their return. When the couple first debuted in the franchise, their story was full of twists and turns. From Sumit's catfish scandal to his first marriage, it was adventurous and very entertaining. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. Jenny has no hurdles left as she has already married her beau. Sumit also settled down and claimed he didn't want to move to the United States. Therefore, the network has no reason to cast them, as they probably don't have much to offer. Sumit's parents have always been the main villains in his relationship with Jenny. If the couple returns, their story will again revolve around the same old family issues. Over the years, fans have seen every kind of drama between Jenny and her in-laws. They've seen Sumit's mom forcing Jenny to do chores and trying to break her spirit. Last time, fans saw Sumit's parents disown him for marrying Jenny, only to reconcile with him later. Therefore, it doesn't seem like anything else is left in the couple's story besides little hiccups. Jenny has adapted well to Indian culture. Jenny isn't a great choice for the spin-off. 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way is an interesting spin-off. It showcases Americans trying to understand their partner's culture and live according to their norms. The spin-off works well with newcomers because fans get to see something new each time. At the same time, it becomes unbearable every time some old cast members return to it. An example of this comes from Season 5, where Armando Rubio and Kenny Niedermeyer failed to engage fans. They had the most boring story because they adapted perfectly to each other's cultures. Jenny and Sumit's ongoing situation is similar to Armando and Kenny's. They are together and understand each other well. Moreover, Jenny has fully embraced Indian culture and has become just as Indian as Sumit. She loves celebrating Hindu festivals, understands traditions, and welcomes cultural changes. Jenny isn't rebellious like her co-star, Kimberly Rochelle, who refused to accept her Indian beau's family. She's much more gentle and a sweet woman. Over the months, Jenny has posted many videos of her life in India. She seems much more peaceful and content in the Asian country. Sumit and Jenny look extremely happy in family pictures. Jenny gets invited to family events. Sumit and Jenny are living their best lives in India. They've come a long way and resolved many of their issues. Not only has Sumit reconciled with his mother, but he has also re-established a connection with his family. He and Jenny often visit their loved ones and celebrate festivals together. Sumit and Jenny are also more in love than before. Many of the couple's videos show them traveling across India. The two recently celebrated their wedding anniversary. They also visited Jaipur and hung out with fellow 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way star Rishi Singh. How could Sumit and Jenny make their story more interesting? Jenny and Sumit could travel to the US. Sumit and Jenny can make their story interesting in only a few ways. One such way is for Jenny to take the next step in becoming more Indian for her husband and learn Hindi. She could do this while looking for the perfect surrogate, as Sumit has shown interest in becoming a father. Jenny can also make her story more engaging by applying for Sumit's spousal visa in the US. If Jenny and Sumit want to return to 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way, they'll have to bring something new to the table. This 90-Day Fiancé couple begs to rejoin The Other Way after teasing there's more to our story. Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh asked the network to recast them on 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way. The Californian woman and her Indian beau had an interesting journey on the 90-Day Fiancé spin-off. They had a 30-year age gap but didn't let it stop them from pursuing each other. Initially, Jenny faced a lot of challenges while settling down in India. She overcame many hurdles but still couldn't impress her in-laws. Sumit realized he had to step in to take control of the situation. He married Jenny without telling his parents and was disowned by his family. 90-Day Fiancé's Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh took to social media to reveal their interest in returning to The Other Way. The 90-Day Fiancé casting page at 90-Day Fiancecast recently shared a post on Instagram. They invited interested couples to join 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way and wrote, "We are looking for Americans who are moving out of the USA permanently to be with their romantic partner abroad." The post received many interesting responses. One such comment came from Jenny, who said she and her husband would love to be back on The Other Way again. The former 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way star added, "There's more to our story than what you've shown," followed by a folded hands emoji. What have Jenny and Sumit been doing since 90-Day Fiancé? Jenny Slatten is assimilating into Indian culture. Jenny and Sumit last appeared in 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 7. Their story mostly revolved around their post-marriage lives in India and family drama. Over the last 2 years, Jenny and Sumit have come a long way. They've reached many milestones and built a beautiful life together. In August 2023, Sumit and Jenny celebrated their second wedding anniversary. They traveled to Jaipur and seemed happy. The duo has also achieved youthful glow-ups, with Jenny looking like she has aged backwards since marrying Sumit. She has fully embraced Indian food, culture, and festivals. Sumit and Jenny's story is certainly not over yet. In the last season, Sumit talked about giving a grandchild to his parents to regain their love. However, Jenny quickly dismissed his idea. Although Sumit's family has accepted Jenny, he may still aspire to become a father. The couple has a lot to discuss, since Jenny doesn't want to get pregnant in her 60s, and Sumit wishes to be a father in the next 2 years. If Jenny and Sumit get cast again on The Other Way, they could discuss their future goals of having a child through adoption. While Jenny wants to return to TV, there might not be a lot of eagerness to see her story unfold. Over the last few years, there have been many complaints that the same face is returning to 90-Day Fiancé. It would be great to watch new stories and experience something different. Since Jenny and Sumit have already returned to the 90-Day Fiancé franchise 4 times, it's understandable why not everyone would want to see them return. Still, Jenny and Sumit are a dynamic duo. Therefore, they may surprise 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way fans with a new plot twist in their story. 90-Day Fiancé, Sumit Singh is the biggest liar of the franchise. He's lied more than once. Since Sumit Singh first appeared on 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 1, he's repeatedly proven that he's the biggest liar in franchise history, despite some stiff competition. Sumit first met his partner Jenny Slatten online in 2012, and since then, the two have had a tumultuous relationship. Sumit and his long-suffering partner Jenny were finally able to get married in 2021, after a decade of Sumit's lies, secrets, delays, and deceptions. Sumit and Jenny's relationship has been rocky, to say the least, and fans have watched it play out during several 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way seasons, and also on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Throughout the process, Sumit lied to Jenny, even after she gave up her entire life to move to India to be with him. She quit her job, cashed out her savings, and left her kids behind. She did so in order to be with a man who couldn't even be honest with her. Also, he wouldn't stand up to his parents. Sumit catfished Jenny. Michael Jones. Sumit and Jenny's relationship was built on the foundation of Sumit's lies. 60-year-old Jenny, who had been living in Palm Springs, California, met a man she thought was a 25-year-old Englishman named Michael Jones. Jenny and Michael fell deeply in love on the internet. Sumit finally admitted to Jenny that he was really an Indian man who worked at a call center. Despite the massive betrayal, Jenny forgave Sumit and moved to India to marry him during 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 1. When Jenny arrived in India, she soon learned that the catfishing incident wasn't the only time Sumit had lied to her. Sumit didn't tell Jenny he was married. A stunning secret. Sumit was acting strangely from the moment Jenny arrived in India during 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 1, which she chalked up to the fact that his parents disapproved of their relationship. Sumit would leave Jenny alone in the apartment for days at a time while he lived at his parents' house. Though this was a difficult and lonely time for Jenny, it was about to get worse. One night, there was a knock at the apartment door and there was a man there claiming to be the father of Sumit's wife. Apparently, Sumit had entered into an arranged marriage 2.5 years ago and never mentioned it to Jenny. Sumit had plans to marry Jenny, but he couldn't because he was already married to someone else. Divorce in India is much more difficult than divorce in the United States. Though Sumit and his wife weren't happy together, it would be a long road before he'd be free to marry Jenny. To make matters worse, Sumit's wife's family sued Sumit, so he was saddled with a $40,000 debt. Sumit lied to his parents repeatedly. After Sumit finally told Jenny who he really was, Jenny flew to India for a visit. While there, she stayed with Sumit's parents, claiming to be a platonic friend. Since Jenny was closer to his parents' age, she got very close to his mom and dad, especially his mother. When Sumit's parents found out that Sumit and Jenny had been involved romantically that entire time, they understandably felt betrayed. Sumit lied to them and Jenny misled them too. By the time Jenny moved to India for good during 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 1, Sumit's parents wanted nothing to do with Jenny. They didn't want Sumit to see her either. Sumit decided the only thing he could do was lie to his parents again, so he didn't tell them that Jenny had moved to India to be with him. Instead, he told them that he was moving away to a new town for work. His parents didn't believe Sumit, and ended up finding out that he was really living in a local apartment with Jenny. Sumit lied about what he told his parents. Once a liar. In addition to lying to his parents about Jenny, he then lied to Jenny about what he told his parents. During Season 1, Jenny had no idea that Sumit's parents didn't know she was back in India until much later, after she arrived. But the lies didn't stop during Season 1. At the end of the season, Jenny had to go back to the United States. Not only was she not in a good place with Sumit, but India's immigration laws require someone with a tourist visa to leave the country every 6 months. During 90 Day Fiancé Season 2, Jenny headed back to India to live with Sumit. Sumit promised her that he was working on finalizing his divorce. He also led her to believe that, this time, his parents knew she was planning to come back. Both claims turned out to be untrue. Though Sumit did finally start the divorce process, it would be many months before it was finalized. Additionally, his parents didn't know Jenny was back, and they were not happy when they found out. Are Jenny and Sumit still together? True love prevails. After COVID-19 hit, international borders were shut down. Jenny couldn't leave India, so the Indian government extended her tourist visa. It was a challenging year, but eventually, Sumit's parents agreed to stop meddling in their relationship. Despite Sumit catching a case of seriously cold feet, he eventually pulled it together and agreed to move forward with his plans to marry Jenny. After a decade of lies and false starts, Sumit and Jenny were finally married in a simple ceremony without telling Sumit's parents. Their relationship had a shady beginning, so it's not a surprise that they kept such a big secret from his parents. 90 Day Fiancé. Sumit's mother finally accepts Jenny, but fans aren't convinced it's genuine. 90 Day Fiancé. The other way, fans suspect Sumit Singh's mother Sadhana Singh and Jenny Slatten's happy reunion isn't as positive as it appears. Jenny was 30 years older than Sumit when they decided to date each other in 2012. Sumit used to play Facebook games with Jenny under a fake profile name called Michael Jones when the Palm Springs woman fell for him. Despite the catfishing, Sumit and Jenny began a long-distance relationship. Jenny went to India to meet Sumit the next year and began an intimate relationship while living in his parents' house. Sumit's family got him married off to another woman whom he later divorced to marry Jenny. Sumit's mother refused to accept Jenny as her daughter-in-law on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. But January 2024's 90 Day Diaries had them revealing Sadhana has turned over a new leaf. Sumit posted photos of him and Jenny on a trip to Jaipur with his parents, younger brother Amit, Amit's wife, and baby. I hope you guys watched Diaries and our segment where finally my mom accepted at Jen_from_San, Sumit wrote in his caption. However, fans commented things like, she still don't look too sick, thrilled, but it's def a GD step, and I don't think so. Her face says it all. She does not look happy in these pics. Jenny's history with Sumit's family explained. Sumit said that he had the option to leave his family for Jenny, but they kept trying to get his family to accept them as a couple. And finally the day came, Sumit wrote to celebrate the happy occasion that fans never thought they were going to witness in Sumit and Jenny's storyline. It could be a major reason why most fans in Sumit's comments section aren't convinced that Sadhana is now okay with Jenny, who's older than her, being her daughter-in-law. Finally, Jenny, I'm so happy for you. I don't think your mother-in-law's heart is completely in it. But at least she is accepted, a fan told Jenny. Sumit's mother considered Jenny her friend when she stayed with them in their house for 2 months. She felt betrayed when they realized Sumit and Jenny were in a relationship. Jenny's arrival in India in 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 1 led to Sumit's split with his ex-wife. Sumit then started living with Jenny in a different house. Sumit's mother was worried about society judging their family. I will never, ever let you marry her, she told Sumit before threatening him that she would commit suicide if he went against his wishes. Sumit and Jenny got married in secret, which came as a bigger blow to Sadhana. Eventually, Sumit's father Anil accepted Jenny during the Happily Ever After. Season 6 Tell All. Sadhana had yet to come around. The latest episode of 90 Day Diaries saw Sadhana and Anil telling the cameras that their way of thinking changed gradually, and they realized that they couldn't change everything in life and had to accept things as they were. Sadhana is seemingly now happy as long as her son is happy. Sumit and Jenny's 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way storyline has finally received its happy ending. 90 Day Fiancé's Kimberly and TJ are a better couple than Jenny and Sumit. Here's why. Kimberly Rochelle and Tejaswi TJ Goswami are far more compatible than 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way's Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh. Kimberly and TJ debuted in the franchise in 2023, while Jenny and Sumit joined the series in 2019. The couples had similar journeys due to matching cultural gaps and family issues. Kimberly and Jenny are both independent ladies from the United States, while Sumit and TJ belong to conservative families in India. Therefore, the two couples had strikingly similar relationships, with the ladies trying their best to navigate their new lives surrounded by unexpected responsibilities. Since TJ and Kimberly debuted on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, they've been compared to Sumit and Jenny. TLC also realized the striking similarities and brought Jenny and Sumit to the tell-all, so they could advise the new pair on how to lead a successful life. Unfortunately, Kimberly and TJ felt insulted by their peers and their intervention. They disrespected Sumit and Jenny and later called them fake on social media. Fortunately, the much more experienced pair showed maturity. Sumit and Jenny called TJ and Kimberly immature kids to close the argument. TJ and Kimberly's story didn't start with a lie. TJ and Kimberly aren't liked much, but they are still a better couple than Sumit and Jenny. When TJ and Kimberly met on Facebook, they had a genuine connection. They built their relationship on mutual trust and love. In comparison, Sumit and Jenny's first meeting was thoroughly fake. Sumit pretended to be a handsome and rich man to catfish Jenny into falling in love with him. He later married another woman in India and didn't tell Jenny about it. While Sumit and Jenny are in a healthy marriage now, it's hard to deny the foundation of their relationship isn't as strong. TJ didn't let his family disrespect Kimberly. Another thing that makes TJ and Kimberly a better couple is their sense of respect. While the pair have had their arguments, they haven't let their families stop them from pursuing each other. TJ even defended Kimberly in front of his brother numerous times. In comparison, Sumit allowed his family to insult Jenny for a long time. He didn't stop his mother from pushing Jenny over the edge, making her work unnecessarily, and disrespecting her. Sumit did run away and married Jenny secretly, but he rarely did his due diligence as her partner. TJ and Kimberly are compatible and didn't wait years to get married. TJ and Kimberly are much better because they tied the knot in time. Marriage is the most important part of a relationship.